Tony, good morning. Yeah, here at Black Lives Matter Plaza is where we have seen so many protests over the last 10 days or so. And this emergency reform bill is really a result of those protests. It focuses on the accountability, the transparency of the D.C. Police Department, and would essentially change the way that officers make arrests and would also impact the release of the footage from those body-worn cameras. Cries for racial justice all across the country. Those calls now being put into action in D.C.
I think that in the District of Columbia and across the country, we are on the cusp of some of the most overdue and magnificent changes in policing that we've seen in decades.
Tuesday, the D.C. Council expects to vote on a police reform bill authored by Judiciary Chair Charles Allen, a bill that would ban chokeholds, beef up the Office of Police Complaints, and require the release of body-worn camera footage within 72 hours after a fatal officer-involved incident.
In the District of Columbia, it is so difficult to get access to these cameras, even if you're a council member, even if you're a family member who's had somebody in your family, like a son, killed by police.
If I'd introduced this bill a year ago, I don't know how many of my colleagues I would have signed on to it. The conversation has changed dramatically.
Some groups like Black Lives Matter DC and the Stop the Police Terror Project are critical of the bill and want to see more done, something Councilmember Allen says he recognizes.
It's not one effort. It's not going to be one law or one budget that changes. We're talking about system change. And to do that, it takes a long, sustained effort it also extends beyond just a judiciary committee. It's about housing. It's about education. It's about workforce development, hope, and opportunity. And we all have a role to play in that.
And again, that bill is expected to be voted on later today. It is expected to pass, although one council member says he does want to make some amendments to that because he believes it's not enough. Another important aspect of this to talk about, though, is the budget. While this is an emergency bill and doesn't impact taxpayer dollars, the budget and MPD's budget is an important conversation in all of this and is also up for discussion today. In fact, Councilmember Allen says he does want to cut some of MPD's budget and reinvest those dollars back into the community. Annie?